All right. So they hear me, Abi? So inside this particular div, we have h1 element. This h1 element now, this is it. Let me show you. This is the h1 element. You can see how it's big now. The size of the h1 element. Then after the h1 element, we now have form. I believe we have talked about form before. So we have form. Inside the form now, there are other different elements inside that particular form. So the first element is the div element, and we also have button element too. So for the div element, we have about one, two, three. We have about three div elements inside this particular form element, right? Then after the three div elements, we now have a button. Now for each of the div elements, we also have different HTML elements too, which are label and input. Are you seeing them? Label and input. Do you understand? So for the label is the one that carries the name, which is this name that you are seeing here. This particular name. Then the label also carry this email. The label also carry this password. I will show you on the VS Code. This is the first one, which is the name. The second one, the email, and the third one, the password. Are you getting it? So that's it for label. Then input field, we have the one for the name, we have the one for the email, we also have the one for the password. Example, it's not even example safe. This is what we want to recreate. We want to recreate this particular page that you are seeing here. So this is the first input field, which is for the name. The second input field, which is for the email. The third input field, which is for the password. Then we also have a button at the end of the three div, which is this button that you are seeing here, and it is called register button. I can actually change it to something else. I can say submit button, and it will also reflect as submit button. Are you seeing it? Alright, nobody's responding now. So
I say yes, yes.
alright. So let's start coding now. So the first thing I will do is to write my div, which is the one that contains everything. The div is the one that contains every other element. So the first element that the div contains is the h1, which is the registration form, right? Then the div now contain another thing, which is another element, which is called form. So in between the form elements now, that's where we now have that's where we have three div. One, two, and three. Today we'll not be doing CSS, so I just want us to do this HTML, this form HTML. Then by the time we now enter CSS, we will now add CSS to this particular element to see the beauty of
Okay,
it. Yeah. So
okay.
this is the three div. Then after the three div, according to what I have said before, we now have another element called button, right? So I will start with the first div before I now move to the second div. So for the first div, but you now, this div that you are seeing here now, you are seeing something like a class. You are seeing class, then you see container, right? I'll not add
Yes.
it. I'll not add it yet. This class container, this class now is attribute to this particular div element, and what is used for is I want to use it to style this particular registration page, so that's why I put it here. So when we get to CSS, there's what we call,
Okay.
yeah, when we get to CSS, there's what we call internal styling, external styling, and inline styling. Then there's also what we call element, select by element, select by ID, then select by class. But what you are doing now is not consign us, so that's why you not put it. You understand?
Okay.
So it's particularly this particular this thing now is used for CSS, so I'll not put it. Now for the first div inside the form, we have a class called form group. This form group too is still for CSS too, but let me just put this one class container, so that by the time we want to style it, it will be very easy for us. So each of the div have a class of form, right? Each of the div have a class of form group. Now in between each of the div, in between each of the div, that's inside the div, that's where we have label. We also have input feed, right? Then for the input feed for each of them are different. One is for email, one is for password, then the other one is for name. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yeah, label and input. So the first one is name. The first one is name, right? That's the label. Name. That's the label. Then the input field, the first one is name too. So I know that name is always text now. It's normal text that we write. So that's why you are saying the type of this input field now is text. You understand? Then we now have a placeholder. The placeholder have, okay, you know even have placeholder sef. But let me just put it. Let me just put the placeholder. Your name, your name, or yeah, your name. Then we now have other different attribute, which is ID attribute, then name attribute. So for this ID attribute now, is still this ID attribute now is still for CSS styling or JavaScript. Anytime we want to use JavaScript, we make use of this ID attribute, or we make use of class attribute. Then this name that you are seeing here now, this name is not actually necessary. It's not necessary for now, but by the time we started working with the backend, that's where we'll make use of it. That's where we'll make use of it, because it is a form now, and for form you are submitting data into the database. So what you'll be using to submit the data into the database is this name attribute of this input field. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you use to submit each of the data into the database. So but we are not there yet, so permit me to remove it.
Okay.
Then the second div, now we are inside second div now. We are done with the first div. And the second div is for email. So the type for this one is now email. Then the title, or the label, I mean, now be email. Do you understand? Then we now have a placeholder email. Enter or say your email. Then we now have password. That's for the third div now. And the type of the password is what? Is
Okay.
password. Yeah, it's password actually. Then placeholder, placeholder, password, so, so password, password. Yeah. So I present to you your HTML registration form. So let's preview it on the browser. But what I just explained, do you understand them? Do you understand it?
Yes, I do.
Ehen. So let me open it on the browser. Remember, it's just HTML. Okay, button. We still have button. We still have button. So the button now, the button will just be type. Type will be submit. Submit. For button, we have different type. Oh. For button, we have different type of button. But what we will be using is submit. Then we will now put it as the register, register now, register now. So let me open it again. So this is the HTML. But if I let me just add CSS to it, and let's see how it will look like. So I've already written the CSS part, which I'll just copy here. I'll just copy it from here and paste here. But we're not doing CSS for now. I just want to show you. Get. I want to show you. See that we still have the same thing. See that we can. You see that we now have the same thing, right? So,
Yeah.
that's so that's for that. That's for that. Then let me just brief you about CSS before we go. For CSS, let me open my notes. I already have this video on my YouTube channel. I'll just share the link with you, but I'm just recording it in case if you say you don't understand that one. Uh, Teaching material. Alright, so basically we are done with HTML, right? Like you can now be making research. Though I'll still give you one class so with HTML. That one is normal website. You understand?
Okay.
I'll still give you
Okay.
another class with HTML. But that website is very big. It's a very robust one. Uh, so we just have to like take it bit by bit. So CSS, right? I already told you that CSS is a styling language that is used to control the layout and the appearance of a web pages. So, which is how the website will look, the beauty of the website is being controlled by CSS. And it's also used to separate the presentation from structure. And the structure, what I mean by structure is the HTML. You understand? Which is
Okay.
making it easier to maintain and update anytime you want to update your website. Now, CSS syntax, as you know, HTML also have syntax now. HTML have tags. Can you tell me one of the HTML tag that you can remember? Eh?
The H is it not the normal H1, H2, the heading stuff
Yes, yes, yes. That's uh,
for
that's
HTML.
yeah, that's HTML tag. Then what about HTML element? When we say HTML element, or let me say, what is the difference between HTML tag and HTML element?
Tags are like keywords enclosed in angle brackets.
All right. What about element?
Ah, elements are like uh,
Do you watch? Do you,
elements are like the one containing like the contents, right?
continue now.
It contains the opening tag, the content, and the closing tag.
All right. All right. All right. That's fine. Yeah, you are correct. Clap for yourself. You are good.
For
I'm happy.
example, image tag.
Uh,
Wow, this thing.
all right. So let's continue. So that's that for that, right? So the same thing to CSS to also have syntax. Hmm? There's a syntax mean a pattern of writing it. There's a way you write CSS. You know, tag. There's a way, like there's always a way you write HTML. The same thing too. There's a way you write CSS, right? So first thing first you have to know is that CSS is used to style the web page. You should have that in mind. Then another thing again you have to know is that CSS consists of three important things. They are very, very important. One, selectors. Two, properties. Three, values. Let me come again. Selectors, properties, and values. Listen on.
Okay.
For selectors, selector is actually what you use to select the particular element you want to style. So for instance, maybe you want to style H1. You know this is H1, right? This is H1 element. I want to style
Yes.
the H1 element now. Okay? You can select it by this keyword, this H1 keyword. You can select this particular element with this particular keyword. Hmm? That's for
Okay.
selector. So that's how you pick it. That's maybe someone to do marriage now and they need to pick Ashebi, abi how una take dey call am. You go to market, you now say there's one particular color I like oh, and that's the color I want to use. Maybe I want to use gold and white. Gold and white. Say okay oh, so let's go to market and select the color and select the cloth we want to use for this Ashebi now. So now that select now is what I'm trying to explain to you now.
Okay.
So you have to select for you to style this particular element. There's a way to select them, and that selector, that's what I'm trying to explain. You have to select it. It's either you select it by the keyword of the element, or you select it by class attribute, or you select it by ID attribute. Here's the ID now. Let me say, let me just put it here. ID attribute. Let me say div or uh, uh, container, or let me say con. Let me say con. con. So if I use this con now to select this particular element called div, anything I apply, any CSS I apply to it will apply to the full element. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Then I can also decide that okay, I want to select this element by the DIC, which is the keyword, which is the tag of the element. If I still apply this style, it will still work. Dey see am so.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's selectors. Then properties. Properties now, the style that I want to apply to the HTML element. So after you go to market, you select the cloth you want to select. Then you now say okay oh, my people na this style I wan say make una sew. So maybe you wan say okay, I wan say make my my people now to sew gown. E get one asoebi cloth wey I see for one status today. They sew the gown oh, they come put one this thing, they do it as if you tie wrapper, but you no tie wrapper oh. So that is style for that particular wedding. You understand? So same thing too
Okay.
is what we are saying here. So properties, how you want it to like, how you want your HTML to look like is a style you want to apply. So this is style now. Color. So you say okay, I want my website to have color. Okay, which type of color I want my website to have? That's what we now talk about value. So okay, I want my website to have a color, and that color should be blue, or should be white, or should be orange, or should be brown. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah, that's the value. That's the value. Perfect example is this H1. So remember this H1 now, HTML tag. So just assume that I have picked that H1 and that registration form. I have picked it now. Then I want to now apply a color to it. That's the property. Then the color I want to apply to it now is blue color.
That is the value.
That's the value. Then I want to also apply another style to it. So I want the font size to increase. So the font size now is the property, while the measurement of the increase is the value. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that for selector. That's for selector. Basically that's that for CSS styling. So that this how they actually write it. You write your selector first, then curly bracket, then you put your property, then column, then your value. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So let me do a simple example for you now. So remember that I said you can write some things on top of or inside this heading part, but it will not appear on the web page. So one of them is your styling. You can write your styling in the heading part and it will not appear on the web page, but the effect will appear on the web page. So the effect of the styling will appear on the web page. So I want to style H1 now, which is my registration form. Then I want to say it should have a background color. For in CSS we have background, we have background color, we have color. Hmm? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this one I want to apply a background color to this particular H1. So I want to say the background color should have a color of blue violet. You understand? Are you seeing it? You're seeing it, have you?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay. So let me now open it on my browser. Yeah, so that's it. Is that making sense, Abi?
Mm-hmm.
Making sense. Yeah. So we are just doing introduction to CSS. So then, so now for CSS selectors, right? We have different ways of selecting your HTML. Now let's come to CSS selectors. So for CSS selectors, they are used to target a specific element on the web page. Now we have about actually have five. We have five, but what I only have here is three. So the first one is element selectors, which is what I have just treated. Selecting the element based on their tag name. Hmm? Based on their tag name.
Mm.
So for instance, now maybe you want to select a div now. You select the div, then you style it. Maybe you want to select image. You select the image, then you style it. Maybe you want to select head, the header element now. You select the head, then you style it. Maybe you want to select paragraph. You pick the P, which stand for paragraph, then you style it. So that's element selectors. Then we now have class selectors. Class selectors are those class attributes. So for example, we have this container. This is a class attribute, right? We have this container. Now I want to style this whole div now with it. I want to pick this whole div now with this container that you're seeing here now. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this container and come here. So when it comes to class, right? Yes, class is different. Like you write it differently. But if you observe this H1 now, I don't put anything before it. Like I don't put anything at the should I say at the front before writing the H1. But for class selector, I must put a full stop before and now write the name of the class or the attribute. Are you seeing it different now?
Yes.
So that's the difference. So let me say I want to add color or background. Let me say background, background should be yellow. So if I open this now, I will open so many. Yeah, I see the background yellow.
Okay.
And if I remove this stuff now, yellow will also apply to the H1 too. Why the yellow apply to the H1? Why?
Because you've already removed like the class selector now.
I remove the class selector. I don't remove class selector. Look at it very well. Look at it very well.
Okay. The thing is still like on the header. So it's gonna apply to like every other thing under.
Alright, alright. Well, you're not still correct. You're not correct. Okay, let me just, because of time, let me just tell you. You see this container? Hmm?
Mm.
Yeah. It is inside, it is an attribute, class attribute that you will use or that I use to select this particular div. Hmm? Or let me say that's what I use to represent this particular div in CSS. That's what I use to represent it in CSS. Hmm? Now the reason why the yellow see the reason why the yellow is still applied to the each one is because each one is inside the div that you are styling. Form is inside the div that you are styling. All these things are inside the div that you are styling, which is this is the div that you are styling actually. Hmm? And you
Okay.
use this container to represent this div that you are styling, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why whenever you apply a background color or you apply anything to it, it will affect the whole div. Now let me now do something special. I didn't want to style the div, but I want to style the whole body. I want to style the whole body. So I will say body, then font size. Font size should be 8 pixel. So font size. So I want to increase all the font. I want to increase all the size of the font of this particular body. This particular body. Let me also add background. Let me add a background to it, which is, let me say, brown. Brown. Now inside CSS. So now can you tell me the reason why when we apply yellow to the first div, it did not cover the whole body? And why is it that when we now apply this color now to the body element, it now cover the whole body? Why?
It's because it's not applied to the whole div now.
It's because it not apply to the whole div.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you are not still correct.
Ah.
Eh,
I think the this thing, if you look at it carefully, all the div one, div two, and div zero, they are under the body. So just like the body covers, I don't know how to explain it to like the entire script, like the entire stuff that we're trying to write.
alright, alright. You tried. Okay, so the reason why that style apply to the full body or the website is because the body is what is like everything that we are styling or everything that we are writing is in between the body tag. The body, yeah, is in between the body tag. So any style we apply to the body to apply to all, to everything. You understand? Please, you understand?
Please come again.
I said the reason why the body now apply to everything is because all the elements they are under div, like just as Fejoro have said, they are in between the div, they are in between the body elements. Are you seeing it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the reason why the style is being applied to everything. So sorry, I dey come o. Give me 5 seconds. Alright. Sorry for that break. So please, I hope you now understand it, Abi.
Yes, yes.
uh Because you need to understand it. It's very important. So back to our CSS. Hmm? Back to our CSS. That's for selectors. So we have, okay, we also have ID selectors too. Okay, let me explain these ID selectors. These ID selectors, let me back my code. That ID selector simply means maybe you want to pick a particular element. if you notice, we have this element now. We have form group, form group, form group. Hmm? But you can still have ID here too. This ID now, the reason why you have this ID here now is to select only this element. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah, because if you say you should, because say you should select, you say you should select the element with div. Every other thing have div. This one have div. This one have div. This one have div. You say you should select them by the class attribute now. This one have form group. This one have form group. This one have form group. So if you just apply, maybe you want to apply the style to only this one now, because you use form group, you just apply to 1, 2, 3, and maybe this one too also have a class of form group. Now form group, the style will still apply to it. Now for you not to confuse yourself, right? That's why they now introduce ID, so that maybe you want to style this particular element. To okay, I will say okay, I want to style this particular element, so let me just name it Bernard. So if I want to style this particular element now, I'll just come here, I just say hash Bernard. Then I want to say uh, uh, background color. Let me say background. Let me give this one background color. So you now see that the background color of this one now be different. Background color should be this. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing that this first one now, the background color is different? Let me
Because
say
was it because you added the ID?
yes, because I already ID, and it's because I want to style only this element. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Now I hope you now understand the difference between ID and class.
Yes.
So just give me a brief explanation.
For the um for the ID selector, it's if you want to style like a particular div,
Yes.
that's where the ID selector is
Okay.
like able. Then for the class selector is like it's applicable to like header kind of the footer. And when you're applying the class selector, it's in between the body elements.
Hmm?
For example, what you did applying the background, like applying the background now
Eh,
for like the class selector now, it was in between the body elements
eh.
there.
Wait to I'm very sorry. I got distracted just now. Can you come again? Just give me the difference between the ID selector and the class selector.
For the ID selector, it's for like a particular div.
All right.
Why for the class selector is like for like the header or like the footer, or it's like it's where you're adding like for example you want to add like background to like what you did now for the other one, you added like a background. So the effect was like in between like the body elements when applied to it.
All right.
So it might affect like the entire like different divs, not just one div.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Now I get it. So let me just brief it. When it comes to class selector, it can be used for multiple elements, not just div. Do you understand? Can be used for, just know that, just have it in mind that when it comes to class, it means that it can be used for multiple elements, HTML element, I mean to say. Then if it is ID, you should know that maybe you want to start only one element. That's why you are introducing that ID. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So for example now, right? Maybe we have ID here. We have ID here. And let me
Yes.
let me duplicate this div now. Or no, let me use this. one H1. So let me duplicate this H1. This H1 now have a class of heading, right? This one too also have a class of heading, heading. Hmm? But if I style, okay, let me just style it heading to make it heading. So let me say font size 36 pixel, 36 pixel. Then color, color, color should be yellow, yellow. That's for H1. That's for H1, oh, right? So let me open it now and show you. Are you seeing the two
Oh,
H1? This is two H1
oh,
registration form, right? Then now I want to now style one of them. I want to style one of them. If I want to now style one of them now, I can now introduce ID to the one I want to style.
IG. Okay.
I'll now introduce ID to the one I want to style. So let me say uh, heading one, heading one. You understand? So I'll now come to
Mm,
my CSS now and I'll say hash heading one. Let me say test align, test align center. That's I want to shift this particular element to the center. Pressing it.
okay.
Now I can now notice that their two still have the same color, they still have the same font size,
Same color, yeah.
because of the class attribute, right? But I can now apply another color to this one, to this particular one. Let me now say color orange, or no, orange should I yellow. Let me say color is, I seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is different between that is different between ID and class selector. Then we also have another selector too that is not here, which is I will need to. So another different again is that when you are writing your class selector, make sure that you always remember to put a full stop,
A dot.
yeah, before you write the name of the class selector. Then when it comes to ID selector too, always put hash at the front of it. Hmm? Yeah. All right. So another selector is this thing, star selector. They call it star selector. Star selector means that you want to select that one. You make use of it at the beginning of your CSS.
Like star, STAR.
Yes, let me show you. Just hold on. Ah, this thing you are seeing here. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, this particular stuff here. That's the star selector. You get. So this star selector now is used to apply. Maybe you want to apply a general styling to your web page or to your website. You make use of it. A general styling, such as maybe you want to give a general styling of padding, padding 0, margin 0. That's a general styling, right? If you
Okay.
observe now, you see that all this one has shifts to the left hand side, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. So I apply a general padding to it. Then this one too, you notice that this one too also shift to the top.
Yeah.
So this one achieve to the top also respects the general styling, but it still maintain its own unique identity, which is that color that you're seeing there, and the text is always at the what center.
Center.
Yeah. So that's it. I hope I'm not rushing. No, I'm not. I hope I'm not rushing. I don't plan to teach CSS today, but
Yeah, rushing it too.
I'm rushing it. All right. So so like I don't actually plan to teach CSS today, but then I think I'll take this CSS class again. You get?
Yes, so that just start like basic. Start maybe without HTML or adding a fresh HTML, not from the project, something different. Like the way you did the first HTML, that it
Yes.
was like step by step before we started applying it now on the project.
All right. You see the same thing now. Like we are not started applying it. I'm just using it to teach you what it entails. You understand? What the CSS. The beauty of the CSS actually. We also have so many things to talk about. Colors, the units, the typography, so many things, so many things, so many things, so many things. Uh, so I think we'll stop here for today.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will send the video. I'll send that video to you. So if
Okay.
that first video, so if you don't understand that first video, I'll now upload this one to
Okay.
my YouTube channel. But I believe that you understand it. You understand it. Then I will send you the assignment to do. Pedro, you not submit my assignment. Where's my 50?
Which one
Is that what?
you're talking about the last one, Abi?
Yeah, the last assignment. I won't give you guys 50 elements, 50 HTML elements to go and write about. You not even submit that one.
Yeah, I did it. I did it, but you said it was like on not for everybody. So I was supposed to set it, but the light wahala since.
All right,
But I will do that tomorrow. I'll send it.
all right, no problem. Pedro, do your one assignment too. I need it. I want to
Okay,
see it.
I'm done with that one, Seth. But the other one, the that paragraph stuff and those, I did that one the first time now, so I just
Yes,
didn't bother
yes,
to.
yes. You have done that one first. Oh, you have done that one before. There's no need to do it again. You have done it, but I need that other one. That 50 HTML element.
Okay, I'll send it to you. It's in my phone, Seth. I'll send it to you this night.
All right. You send it as you used Google Google document,
Word.
Google document, so that you share the link to me.
Okay. Oh, no, well,
All
I'll
right,
move on into my lab and do that.
all right, sir, no problem. So have a nice evening. Or share the link
All right.
to
Thank
chat.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right, then.
Yeah.